Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Audia. I'm from Accounting 2016. Now, I want to present about my thesis research with the title is The Impact of Audit Professionalism, Organizational Commitment, and Ethical Environment on the Intention of Doing Whistleblowing. The first, I want to explain about the background of research. Scandal of financial statement fraud, violation of law, and fraud that often occurs in private companies and government agencies, which will cause lawsuit arrest due to a conflict of interest authority holders. With this, it is necessary that there are parties who dare to make themselves to take action whistleblowing. But the course of a whistleblower begins with the ethical dilemmas that arise and evaluate the intention of an organization member, especially an internal auditor, to take a whistleblowing action. Whistleblower is someone who discloses an act of fraud committed by members of an organization regarding immoral practice to a person or an institution that might affect someone's behavior. Being a whistleblower is not easy thing to do. There are many factors that can use someone to be willing to blow the whistle. Research gap, since factors still have different results, are audit professionalism, organizational commitment, and ethical environment. The problem statement of this research is to know the influence of the intention to the whistleblowing. The novelty of this study is the unit of analysis. In this study, it's the Inspector General of the Ministry that has implemented a whistleblowing system. Then, the researchers used the Inspectorate of Marine and Fisheries Ministry as one of the ministries that had implemented a whistleblowing system. Next, about the literature review. The grand theory of this research is theory of planned behavior, is a theory developed by H. Zahn in 1991. The population in this study was 266 internal auditor at the Inspectorate General of Marine and Fisheries Ministry, with sample using random sampling technique. Next, I want to explain about the data quality. The data quality test in the study was conducted on 20 internal auditors working in the Inspectorate General of the Indonesian Ministry of Education and Culture, which consists of 5 inspectorates. Data quality test is carried out to test the research instrument by conducting validity and reliability tests. This data quality test was carried out on 31 statement items on 4 variables to be tested. The validity of the value of percent correlation must greater than table. The value R of the table is obtained in the degree of freedom table, where the degree of freedom value is obtained by the formula of the number of respondents minus 2 or 20 minus 2 equals to 18. So, the value R or the table in this study with a significant level of 0.05 is 0.44 and 38. The result of the variable intention to the whistleblowing, audit professionalism, and ethical environment are declared valid. However, the organizational commitment variable statement item number 8 and 9 are invalid because R table is polar than R arithmetic. Next, the reliability test. All variables in this study were stated to be reliable with current batch alpha values greater than 0.70. After that, about data discussion. This research was conducted with the aim of finding out whether audit professionalism, organizational commitment, and ethical environment can influence whistleblowing intention. The object of this research were all internal auditors working at the Inspectorate General of the Indonesian Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, who has 5 inspectorates. This research used primary data using a research questionnaire conducted online or through Google Form. The distribution of this questionnaire was conducted in July 2020. The sample used in the study used the calculation of the solving formula and random sampling technique. Based on the calculation that have been made, as many as 58 samples are needed by researcher as respondent, where the respondents are internal auditors who work at the Inspectorate General of the Indonesian Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries. The following is the number and distribution of research respondents. These researchers has distributed questionnaire to 137 auditors at the Inspectorate of the Indonesian Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, where all internal auditors were responded in the study. The questionnaire will distribute to 137 respondents, and the questionnaire returned were 62 and one questionnaire couldn't be used and processed. Next, descriptive statistical analysis. Whistleblowing intention have max value 25 minimal value 11 and average 21.72. Auditor professionalism, maximum value is 50, minimum value is 38 and average 45.30. And organizational commitment, with maximum value is 40, minimum value is 30 and average 37.03. And the last, ethical environment, maximum value is 30, minimum value is 16 and average is 26 and 67. After that, this normality test was conducted with the aim of finding out the variable used in the study when normally distributed. The normality test used is scatter plot and Kolmogov's manner of test. Normality test result in study were more than 0.05, that is 0.458. Multicollinearity test is performed to the test whether there is a correlation between independent variables or not. If the fifth value is less than 10, that is free from multicollinearity. All variables in the study have fifth result or more than 10, so that can be said to be free from multicollinearity. Heteroscedasticity test is performed to see one test with another test whether there is an inequality of variation. Regression model that meets the requirement are where there are similarities in the variation of the observational residual of one other observation are called homoscedasticity. The significance value of all variables show more 0.05, so it can be said to be free from heteroscedasticity. The test of multiple linear regression analysis was conducted to test the hypothesis between the influence of the three independent variables, namely audit professionalism, organizational commitment, and the ethical environment. The equation in this research is multiple linear regression analysis is y equals to 0.794 plus 0.044 x1 plus 0.491 x2 plus 0.028 plus error. Next, hypothesis test. Hypothesis testing consists of the t-test, the f-test, and the coefficient of the determination. Audit professionalism variables, the resulting t count on the audit professionalism with a significance of 0.657. So it can be concluded that hypothesis 1 was rejected. This result is in line with research conducted by Mafiro et al. At 2018 and Iftikhar et al. In 2018, which stated that audit professionalism has no effect on the intention to conducting whistleblowing. Next, the result t count on the organizational commitment variable with a significance of 0.000 less than 0.05. The result of the study are in line with the result of research conducted by Bernawati and Napitopoulos in 2018 and Setiawati study in 2016, which said that the stronger the organizational commitment, the higher the intention to conduct whistleblowing. This was done to show more effort for the success of the organization by taking action whistleblowing. The resulting t count on the ethical environment variable with a significance of 0.800 and less than 0.05. So, it can be concluded that hypothesis 3 was rejected. The results of this study are in line with research conducted by Ahiruddin and Asnawi in 2017, which said that an ethical environment cannot foster ethical behavior among members. That is because there are other things that can affect their intention, namely depending on the level of machiavellianism passed by each member. Next, about F-test. Based on the result, it can be seen that the F count of 16.984 greater than 2.77 with a significance of 0.00 less than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the variable of audit professionalism, organizational commitment, and the ethical environment together have an influence on the intention to do whistleblowing. Next, about coefficient of determination. Based on the result, adjust R square has a value of 0.4044. This explains that the variable of audit professionalism, organizational commitment, and the ethical environment can influence whistleblowing intention by 44.4%. And the last conclusion of this study, first, audit professionalism doesn't affect the intention to conduct whistleblowing. When an auditor has high professionalism, it's not the main thing that can affect the auditor's intention to do whistleblowing. Second, organizational commitment has a positive effect on the intention to do whistleblowing. When someone has a strong organizational commitment, someone will have loyalty and try to make various efforts to protect the organization from bad so that it can foster one intention to take action whistleblowing. Plus, the ethical environment doesn't affect the intention to do whistleblowing. When the environment in an organization is good or abnormal, it's not something that can affect someone's intention to do whistleblowing and can depend on the nature of the personality that supports to do. So, this is the last presentation about my thesis research. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum.